All right. Hey, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the Investor Frame podcast. On this show, we interview real estate investors and entrepreneurs so that they can share their stories, so we can learn from their experiences to get closer to the things that we want in life without chasing more and more and more. Today, I've got an excellent guest here with me, Nathan Brooks. Nathan is a real estate investor out of Kansas City. He's grown a significant real estate portfolio. He just wrote a book. If you're watching this on YouTube, The No Quitters Guide to Crushing Real Estate Investing and Building an Extraordinary Life. He and I have a lot in common in the ways that we approach real estate investing. So I'm extremely excited to have him here today, share his story about his solvable problem and the things that he's using to get closer to what matters to him in life. Welcome in, Nathan. It's great to have you.
Paul, thank you so much. And it's fun connecting on this and all the things you guys, your team, you are working on too. It feels like we're kindred spirits in creating some amazing things.
Yeah, man, absolutely. And we met each other through Family Mastermind, which is a group for real estate investors and folks doing different types of products. So gotten to know you and your business from afar, but we're starting to get to know each other a little bit better. To kick things off, why don't you give us your 6-word update for the day? And what is that for you?
My 6-word update today is vision creates purpose towards imperfect action.
Wow. Sounds like straight out of your book. So maybe tell us a little bit more about that.
Yeah. Well, it's a challenging thought when you say, hey, put an update in 6 words. And a guy, I like words. So and of course, as a writer, it's important to be clear and specific but also create detail around what you want to. So for me, this is, I think a lot of people, I just got off of a 6-day trip coaching clients in 4 different clients, 3 different states and 3 different time zones. And every single time you have a conversation with someone in business, you have to ask, like, okay, wait, what problem are we actually solving here? And do we actually have a vision as to what this action is going towards? And, for years I've worked with, clients all over the country, and so many people are either, they're ready, fire, aim, and they're going so fast, they haven't actually come up with an actual vision, a reason why they're pursuing it. And some people are so afraid to take any action that they don't do anything. And so this was important to me as I'm thinking about everything in my life, the coaching people that I have in my life as well. And so still having vision, having purpose, but also taking imperfect action towards it.
I can speak for myself here. I got caught up in this trap of identifying with the tool that I'm using. Real estate is this fantastic tool to help us get ideally where we want in life. But what I found was that for the first couple of years I was doing this, like, I got so trapped in the identity of being a real estate investor. And it took me a while to figure out, like, you got to zoom out here. And this is a tool to help you achieve something in your life, money and financial security, financial certainty, as we call it. These are all tools to enable the extraordinary life. So maybe this is a good segue into how you think about your solvable problem, and ideally we're using these tools like real estate and, other investments, other actions that we take on a daily basis to get us closer to the things that we actually want out of life. And I know you do some extraordinary things. You have, you do a whole lot with martial arts and you do all sorts of different things, right? So how do you think about your solvable problem, and how are you using the tools at your disposal to help you get those things?
Yeah. First, well, I'll define, and I love the concept of the solvable problem, which, I think Tim Ferriss really kind of took a swing at in a 4-hour work week when he talked about, there's a lot of different really amazing nuggets out of that book, but, thinking about, like, somebody wants a Ferrari or whatever fancy car they want. They don't need a stroke to $100,000, $200,000, $300,000 check. They need to be able to understand what period of time they want to drive it and what it's going to cost them to lease it or rent it or whatever. Like, you can go drive one for the weekend. That's a solvable problem. Doesn't mean you need to spend all that money on that. And I think we look at real estate and we we miss, like you said, what the actual problem is, and utilizing the real estate and the money as a tool, which is what it is. It's not, that is not the thing. The success is the emotion and experience that we feel. It's not the money in the bank account. The money in the bank account is the tool that helps us do the things that we want to do. So for me, it was, I don't want to work 80 hours a week. I don't think hustle and grind is right. I don't want to work just for the sake of working. And I hate trading time for dollars, whether it's not high leverage for things of helping people for me, high leverage for making money, or high leverage for doing something I love. And so, for me, it was making a certain amount of money per year with the least amount of time possible. So I didn't want to work. I love working, but I wanted to have specific time for working. And then I love being outdoors. So you said I have a lot of things I love to do. I do love training martial arts. After this podcast, I'll be putting a gi on and rolling with a bunch of, sweaty dudes in a gym, because it makes me, one, humble. Number two, I'm always constantly thinking about how to be better in anything I do. And martial arts, believe me, if you don't train or haven't trained, humbling, hard, and it's something worthwhile pursuing. A lifelong pursuit. I want to be the Renaissance man, Paul. That's it. And then, I'm an avid hunter, and I didn't grow up hunting, but it's one of those, other things where it's like, hey, I want to be able to truly handle myself, understand how to operate in the world, no matter what. Like, how can I get to that path? And so I spend 30, 40, 50 days a year hunting just because I love it. And then vacation and all those other things with the family and time and personal time. And I value that time that I have. So those are the things that I'm always thinking about.
Talk to me about some of the strategies that are working for you. I know you, like you said, you're doing flips, you're doing developments, you wrote a book, you've got some coaching. How does all this fit on your barbell, and how do you think about that?
Absolutely. Well, the thing that I have come back to over all those flips and all those years is I really don't want to sell anything. So I don't want to really do deals that I'm not excited about holding long term. And if we end up flipping something, fine, but that's not my intention anymore. Like I've been there and done that, so to speak, on the fix and flipping and so forth. And so I'd rather build that sustainable wealth balance sheet and capacity to do the big deals, which is what I'm really enjoying doing. And all of that is required to have that balance sheet, have that cash flow, and the experience doing it. So that's number one. I'm not going to do another deal for just the sake of doing it and putting some cash in my pocket short term. Number two is I am adding, I like that 80-20 leverage point. So can I do an Airbnb unit that I make, $1,000, $2,000, $5,000 a month? Or, that single family unit that makes $100 a month, or, it's really tough to make cash flow right now, interest rates and so forth, rents, prices. Anyway, so I'm really thoughtful on that. So it's either a big balance sheet increase or it's a big cash flow increase for me. And then is it with somebody that I like? And one of the other things that I've been really thinking about from a barbell standpoint is I don't have to do everything myself. And I think we get in this pattern where we're like, I can do it better than anybody else can. Whatever. I don't believe that's true. There's a lot of people who can do a great job, but their goal and their vision has to be in alignment as close to with what you want to create as possible. That's where the synergy happens. And so in my barbell, I'm also working with people who already have a system in place for, like my general contractor or my Airbnb partner. They already have businesses that run really well. And I can bring the thing that's a special sauce that I have to those relationships and create that. So that's consistent, where I'm not having to go build a huge system. I get to bring what I already do well. And then third, as far as, the actual things, coaching, I am looking at the time that I'm spending, but also the opportunity they get to meet someone new or have an investor in a deal, or buy an Airbnb in a really cool place that I'm working on this year, by the way. Scottsdale or St. Pete, I will own it by the end of the year, putting it into the universe. And so I want to make sure that all those things also bring joy. So I don't care what's on that barbell. If it's something that I'm not enjoying doing or a person I do not enjoy with, it doesn't matter, because that shifts the weight of everything. Because now you're not even thinking about the business. You're thinking about that emotion. You're thinking about the relationship and the problems that you're having to solve there. So, and it's not to say you won't have problems. You want to have better and better problems with people who want to solve those problems. And then lastly, I take small bets on big things. And so, I'll put some money, which is a small portion of my net worth, into, I've made some blockchain bets that didn't do so well. I've made some, like I mentioned to you, like Forex bets that have done incredibly well. And I'll make bets with certain people too. Like, hey, let's see if this business can get up and running, where I sit in the owner's box, I give some input and I give a little bit of money, and we'll see, and I let it run. And so that's been my strategy: real estate as the base, and then joint venture opportunities with people that already have both vision and a shared goal, and then make some high leverage bets.
Hey, thanks for watching. If you want to learn more about Certainty and what we do inside the Whale Club, you can find the link below in the show notes to join our free community on Discord.